Archibald loved late nights. There was something about the quiet darkness that made him feel alive, like the world was his alone. Tonight was no different. He was sprawled on his bed, laptop glowing in the dim light of his room, messaging his Discord friends. They were sharing memes, debating the latest horror games, and trading creepy stories. Archibald was having a blast, laughing so hard his sides hurt. But as the clock ticked past 3 a.m., he decided it was time to call it a night. Just as he was about to log off, a new message popped up in his DMs. The username was 3 Days, and the profile picture was a distorted, unsettling image of Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. Archibald raised an eyebrow. One of his friends was probably messing with him. He smirked and waited for the punchline. The message was simple. Hello. All caps, no emojis, no context. Archibald chuckled. Nice try, he muttered, closing the chat. But before he could shut his laptop, another message came through. Can you hear me? Archibald rolled his eyes. He suspected that it was simply one of his friends pranking him. I am speaking to you. Archibald frowned. This was getting weird. He checked the server to see if any of his friends were offline or acting suspicious, but everyone was accounted for. But as he was checking, he got one more message from the mysterious user, Ugly Nigger. Archibald froze, his blood boiled. He was used to jokes, but this was crossing a line. He was a black man, and he wasn't about to let some anonymous troll get away with this. He blocked the user immediately, his hands shaking with anger. Then he stormed into the group chat. All right, which one of you thought it was funny to send me that racist crap? He typed, his fingers slamming the keys. His friends were confused, denying any involvement. Archibald didn't believe them at first, but after an hour of arguing, he gave up. Exhausted and frustrated, he shut his laptop and went to bed. The next morning, Archibald woke up feeling groggy. He barely remembered the incident from the night before. It was just some idiot on the internet, he told himself. Nothing to worry about. He went about his day as usual, laughing with his friends and forgetting all about 3 days. But 3 days later, something happened that he would never forget. Archibald was sitting in his room, watching his favorite Creepypasta YouTuber, Sleuth's Creepypasta Corner. The video was about a cursed game that drove players insane, and Archibald was completely engrossed. But then, something interrupted the video. A voice. It was low, guttural, and dripping with malice. It came from right outside his window. 3 days. Archibald's heart skipped a beat. He paused the video, his ears straining to hear more. The voice came again, louder this time. 3 days. He stood up, his legs trembling. Who's there? He called out, trying to sound brave. But his voice cracked, betraying his fear. Then he heard it, a loud crash. The window shattered, glass spraying across the room. Archibald screamed, stumbling backward as a figure crawled through the broken window. His mind refused to process what he was seeing at first. It was Squidward, but not the Squidward he knew from SpongeBob. This Squidward was twisted, his face contorted into a grotesque sneer, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Archibald's first thought was that it was a costume, some elaborate prank. But then he saw the blood. The creature had cut one of its tentacles on the broken glass, and dark, viscous liquid was oozing from the wound. It didn't seem to care. It just kept coming, its movements jerky and unnatural. The Squidward creature turned its head, its glowing eyes locking onto Archibald's. Its mouth opened, revealing rows of jagged yellow teeth. It began to speak. You are a stupid, ugly nigger. Archibald's breath caught in his throat. He backed away, his mind racing. This wasn't real. It couldn't be real. But the creature was advancing, its tentacles leaving bloody smears on the floor. Once again, it opened its horrible mouth. It said 3 days. The creature used its dozens of tentacles to ensnare Archibald completely. At first, Archibald thought it would at least be a quick death. Perhaps the creature would simply suffocate him. But this was not the case. The creature ripped Archibald's attire clean off of his body. One more tentacle approached Archibald, but it looked different from the others. It looked like a massive penis. Oh no, Archibald thought, but before he could even scream, the monster raped him to death. Dear viewer, if you ever get a message from a mysterious Squidward account on Discord, answer it, unless you want to suffer the same fate as Archibald.